The History of Korea. Episode 1. The Cretaceous Period, 144 million years ago to 98 million years ago.
Dinosaurs seem to have survived on the Korean peninsula longer than they survived anywhere else on Earth. That is, they survived into the late Cretaceous period, the Cretaceous period being from 144 million years ago to 98 million years ago. In the south of the Korean peninsula, there were lots of lakes around which plants such as ferns and conifers could grow. Along with the foliage, the dinosaurs on the Korean peninsula also had for company crocodiles, tortoises, fish, early mammals, and invertebrates, including arthropods, lugworms, and mollusks. Dinosaur egg fossils were the first evidence for dinosaurs on the Korean peninsula. As far as I know, the first egg fossils were found in 1972 in Hadong-gun in South Gyeongsang Province. Since then, many more dinosaur egg fossils have been found. According to Min-Hu and Darla K. Kalinitsky in their 2002 research paper, which appeared in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology, the first dinosaur egg locality in Korea that yielded clutches with complete unhatched eggs was found in 1999 in Boseong County in South Cholla Province. The area in question stretches 3 kilometers along the south coast of the Korean peninsula. The rocks exposed at the Boseong site are Cretaceous in age. Eggs are found in 4 main areas of this site and occur within at least 5 different stratigraphic levels. According to Hu and Kalinitsky, the Boseong site contains at least 3 different egg species. These eggs may belong to sauropods, ornithopods, or even turtles. Ornithopods are bipedal dinosaurs, usually with only 3 functional toes. Apart from dinosaur egg fossils, dinosaur bone fossils have also been found in Cretaceous sedimentary layers. In 1998, well-preserved dinosaur bone fossils of the newly discovered species Pukungsaurus millenniumi were found in Hadong in South Gyeongsang Province. In 2014, the first fully intact skeleton of a carnivorous dinosaur was discovered in Hadong in South Gyeongsang Province, although it was only 50 centimeters in length. Meanwhile, the flying dinosaur, called a pterosaur, found in Uangri, is considered to be a newly discovered species. It has been given the name Haenemychus uangriensis. It would seem bipedal herbivorous dinosaurs called theropods trotted all over the south of the Korean peninsula. Their footprints are still there in the Cretaceous terrestrial sedimentary layers. Young-Nam Lee and Min-Hu, in their 2002 research paper published in the Journal of Paleontology, mentioned that 105 sauropod tracks were excavated from the black shale of the Uangri Formation in Hanam County in South Cholla Province. According to Lee and Tu, the tracks are true manus prints. They are not the undertracks, they're the actual tracks, and they were made by sauropod dinosaurs while the dinosaurs were swimming. Lee and Tu maintain that the Uangri track site in Haenem is of scientific importance because it is the only place in the world where dinosaur, pterosaur, and bird tracks have been found together. This site is considered Korea's national treasure number 344.
Goseong near Jinju on the south coast of Korea is well worth a visit for anybody interested in seeing dinosaur footprints.
The fossil of a spider, believed to date back to the Cretaceous period, was also discovered in the area of Jinju in the south of Korea. The spider didn't make it to the National Treasure list yet.
The Paleolithic period, from around 1.5 million years ago to around 10,000 BC.
Some sources say that as early as 700,000 years ago, people were living in Manchuria and on the Korean peninsula. However, other sources, including Yi Baek Lee in A New History of Korea, mention only evidence for Paleolithic men on the Korean peninsula between 40,000 and 50,000 years ago. Old Stone Age sites in Korea are to be found in Hamgyeongbuk-do, Pyongan-namdo, Pyongyang-si, Chungcheong-namdo, Gyeonggi-do, and Chungcheongbuk-do, to name but a few. At some of these sites, human bone fossils have been found. At the site at Pyongan-namdo, 2 human teeth and a shoulder bone were found. The person to whom these bones belonged is called Dokchon Saram, the Dokchon person. The partial remains, that is the head bones of another person called Yogposaram, were found at the site in Pyongyangshi. The remains found at the Chunwon-gun site are called the Hungsu Child. These sites are thought to date to the middle of the Old Stone Age. Apart from human remains, the bones of water buffalo, hyenas, monkeys and rhinos have also been found at Old Stone Age sites in Korea. In Korea Old and New a History, it mentions that in 1933 a report appeared on a site at Tongwanjin in the far northeastern tip of the Korean peninsula. At this site, fossils of extinct mammals such as the mammoth were found in close proximity to a number of bone and stone fragments thought to be implements crafted by humans. However, in 1940, the Japanese archaeologist Nobuo Naro's report in his Paleolithic findings in Tongwanjin were viewed with some skepticism, people perhaps finding it difficult to accept that the finds were really Paleolithic and not Neolithic. However, more Paleolithic sites were subsequently discovered in 1962 in North Hamgyong Province and again in 1964 in South Chungcheon Province. Paleolithic man would seem to have lived widely throughout the Korean peninsula.
John Gokli.
This type of Acheulean hand axe is believed to have first emerged out of Ethiopia about 1.4 million years ago and disappeared around 100,000 years ago. As you can see, both sides of the blade are evenly trimmed and it's triangular in shape. Professor H. Movius of Harvard University put forth the hypothesis that no Acheulean hand axes with double-sided blades were to be found in places in East Asia, that is, places east of India. This hypothesis was widely accepted. However, in 1978, a US GI named Greg Bowen found Acheulean-type stone tools in John Gokli along the area of the Hantan River. He showed his finds to Professor Kim Won-rong, the director of the Seoul National Museum. Archaeological field surveys were subsequently conducted, and various types of Paleolithic hand axes, cleavers, hunting stones, scrapers, and fist-sized picks were found. This site at John Gokli may be as old as 350,000 years. This site is extremely significant because it's the first site where Acheulean hand axes were found in East Asia. Two different cultural layers at the Sokchangni site belonging to the late Paleolithic period have been confirmed to be respectively 30,000 and 20,000 years before the present. The items found at the Sokchangni site include stone choppers, scrapers, and hammers. Tools made from bone and horn have also been found there. In Korea Old and New a History, it mentions that in Sokchangni, the making of stone tools on a large scale seems to have been concentrated in one particular place within the settlement area. It's thought that Paleolithic man lived in caves, the shelter of overhanging rocks, or dwellings on level ground. These dwellings were called umjib. The floors were dug down below ground surface. This, it's thought, made them cool in summer and gave more shelter in winter. However, personally, I wonder how people coped in the umjib in the rainy seasons. The Paleolithic people on the Korean peninsula are believed to have used fire because a hearth was discovered at a Paleolithic site at Sokchangni. One site in this location also seemed to have been partially enclosed by a wall. It's thought that for obvious reasons these Paleolithic people lived near rivers or other water sources and fished, hunted, gathered fruits, berries, roots and things like that. According to several sources, including Korea Old and New History, there is evidence to suggest that crude figurines or incised drawings of animals were made in connection with magical practices designed to secure success in hunting, which is thought to have been a group activity. It is generally considered that the Korean people of today are not the ethnic descendants of these Paleolithic inhabitants of the peninsula. The Amsadong Neolithic site was first discovered in 1925 when the Han River flooded and parts of the site became exposed. Excavations didn't begin until 1967. However, subsequent work at the site has uncovered 26 dugout pithouse floors, stone axes, stone arrowheads, stone mortars, net sinkers, and of course, comb pattern pottery. The earliest types of pottery in the region are thought to have been red or black in colour with no ornamentation. From about 4500 BC, pots were decorated with lines. This comb pattern pottery has been found at Amsadong. It dates the site to about 4000 BC. These pots didn't have flat bases, they had pointy bases, and it's thought that they were stuck in the sandy ground, and that's how they were kept upright. Pieces of obsidian have also been found at Amsadong. Obsidian is a naturally occurring glass produced when felsic lava from a volcanic explosion cools rapidly. The obsidian found at Amsadong is believed to have come from Baekdusan. Baekdusan is on the border between present-day North Korea and China. Thus, the presence of the obsidian at Amsadong is an indication that trade and barter were being conducted 6,000 years ago in the area. Charred acorns were also uncovered at Amsadong. Cache pits of charred acorns have actually been uncovered at other sites, including Sejok site in Ulsan and the Baibongri site in Changyang. Thus, it's believed that acorns were a main food source with their hard shell, tannic acid, and long shelf life. Actually, acorns are still a nutritious and delicious source of food on the Korean peninsula today, acorn pancake being delicious. The Bangu-dae petroglyph site was discovered by the Dongguk University investigation team in 1971. It is located in Ulsan and believed to date from between 7,000 and 3,500 BC. The Bangu-dae petroglyphs are located on vertical cliff faces on the banks of the Daegakchan stream, which joins up with the Taehwa River, the river in turn meeting the East Sea at Ulsan. Due to dam construction and increased water levels, the petroglyphs can only be seen during the dry season from October to February. These cliff drawings at Bangu-dae are believed to be the most ancient evidence of whaling worldwide. However, the artists did not confine themselves solely to whale representations. The petroglyphs also include depictions of dolphins, turtles, seals, birds, wild boar, deer, and humans. There are hunting scenes depicting boats. Harpoons attached to ropes are shown being used for whaling. There are depictions of nets being used to trap both whale and tigers. Some representations are engraved, some are done just in outline. These two methods of sketch execution have led people to believe that the drawings were produced in different time phases. Archaeological excavations in the nearby area have revealed layers which contain the bones of captured whales. These layers are believed to date to between 5,500 and 4,700 BC, that is, the early and mid-Neolithic period. In 1996, the Bangu-dae petroglyph site was designated Korea's national treasure number 285. The Bangu-dae petroglyph site is really well worth a visit.